tonight is my stuffed mushroom with sour cream, horseradish, and we're going to top it off with New York steak. So what we're going to do is we bake the mushrooms in the oven. We've coated them with cooking oil, baked them for 15 minutes, got them out of the oven. I've got them on the tray, and then I take a combination of sour cream and horseradish sauce, mix that together, and we're going to dabble that right into the mushroom. But first, let's saute up some New York steak. These thinly sliced New York steak, put a little Worcestershire sauce in there, some steak seasoning. It's going to be nice and warm and very, very tender. So the Worcestershire sauce will give it that tenderness, and it'll also give it that flavor. So you want to mix that in there. And we've added a tablespoon of butter, so the butter will melt in there, and then just a little bit of steak seasoning. So that gives it the nice flavor. Because what you want is you want it to be very tender. That's why I use New York steak. So when they bite into the mushroom, they get that three combination: warm, cold, and then warm again. And then it is so delicious. So this steak is ready to go. It's nice and warm. So we'll start putting that sour cream in the mushrooms and get these served up and see what they think. All right, so now we have the steak. So you just take that, again, sour cream and horseradish. You just drop a dabble in there. You want to be careful not to get too much horseradish in it because it can get really hot. Just dabble it in there in the mushroom. Okay, so we got the warm mushroom, we got the sour cream mixture with the horseradish. Now we're going to lay that New York steak right across on top of the mushroom. Oh, that steak is nice and warm. You can smell it. Break off some pieces and put it right there. So when they bite into this, oh, it's going to be marvelous. This is one of my favorite mushroom recipes that I do. Oh, so tender. And you know, there's always those people in the crowd that don't care for mushrooms, but they can smell this. So I think what we'll do is we'll take our extra New York steak, we're going to lay it around the tray and put some toothpicks, and then that way, if they don't want to eat the mushrooms, at least they can experience the steak. So we'll just lay those around there. And the last thing we're going to top this with, just to set it off, I told you I'm all about presentation and I'm all about it tasting marvelous, is you want to get some parsley, and we're going to chop it up and then just sprinkle it right on top. And then we're just going to chop this off. Oh, I'm going to have to grab. And then we're just going to sprinkle this right on top of this. It's going to give it color, and it's all about the right kind of color. Oh, yeah. I think we're going to get some ahs and ums out of this dish. It looks good and it tastes amazing. Okay, I think we've got it. Just a little bit more parsley so we don't miss any of them. Let's start serving and see what they think. So now I'm so excited to see what they think of my New York steak mushrooms. Again, I put steak on the side for those people who don't care for mushrooms, but the others that enjoy it. Let's see what they think. There's a toothpick.
Boy, I can't wait.
That's a mushroom. Okay, Kermit, you can just pick it up with your fingers.
Oh, can I?
The whole thing. Oh, you just want the steak?
I need the whole thing.
Yep,
So
there you go.
There
we go.
You're talking with food.
It's like a party going on in my mouth.
I'm the whole mushroom.
All right. So if you like steak, steak's on the side.
Steak?
Super. Tell me what you think of that New York steak. You like it? Awesome. Sharon?
Oh my God, it's amazing. Serious?
You like it? That combination. Again, the tender New York steak. We've got that flavor in it. That cold with a little bit of heat from the horseradish. And then those warm mushrooms. Let's go on and see who else we can please with these. Okay, here we go. Miss Sonia's going to try out my New York steak mushrooms. Go, girl.
Okay, all right. Wow, this looks delicious.
I hope so.
Oh.
I think they're a hit. What do you think, Miss Sue?
They're good.
You like it? Right on. So there you go. My girls say it's a go. Woo!
Wait, one more.
Next, we're going to do my Italian sausage stuffed mushrooms. These are to die for. I use a sweet Italian sausage. Use 8 ounces. So this is a pound of sweet Italian sausage. So I'm going to cut this in half, and we're going to put it right on the stove and start frying it up. So I put some butter in the bottom of the pan. And then we're going to start it right up. Move that around so we get the whole pan coated, and then that way the sausage won't stick at all. When you're cooking it, what you want to do is, the objective is to make sure that you get it into little tiny pieces once it starts to cook, so then that way it'll mix really well when we take it back over and we start making the mixture. You don't want any big chunks because that would fill up the mushroom. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to put the ingredients together while our sausage is cooking. So what I do is I hull out the mushrooms, I've rinsed them off, and I'm going to put them in the pan. What I'll do is I'll add water in the bottom of the pan while we're cooking them. They have water in them that will come out, but that'll keep them nice and moist, because the last thing we want to do is to serve them dry. So we're going to set them here on the pan. Then what we're going to add is we're going to start working on the roasted pecans. And I've shared with you that before in my other episodes that to roast the pecans you want to do it on the pan or in the oven. So I've cooked these in the oven at 350 degrees for 8 minutes, and now they're roasted. You can see they're nice and dark. They're not raw pecans, they're roasted. And that just gives them a lot of flavor. So we're going to do that. I'm going to grab a knife. And then we're going to chop these up. So we want to chop them. If you have a chopper, just throw them into a chopper and get them. You want, again, for this to be where you can get nice size little bits, so nobody's just getting a big piece of pecan in their mushroom. So chop it up really good. Okay, and then I use Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to take the bowl with the Parmesan cheese. I'm going to add the pecans right in there. We're going to clean off the cutting board, and I'll be right back to do the rosemary. Next, we're going to add fresh rosemary. I keep the fresh rosemary right in my kitchen next to the sink. If you don't grow your own herbs, what you can do is go to the produce department, and they have fresh rosemary right there for you. So we just pinch it off, and then you just pull it right off of the vine there. Comes off nice and easy. You want to get all the stem out that you can. Oh, just pulling it off, you can smell it. A combination of pecans, cheese, rosemary. It's a very good combination. Okay, so we got that fresh herb going on. We're going to chop that up. And just like the pecans, you want to make sure that you get it chopped up really good and there's little pieces. Okay, we're going to put that in our cheese and pecan mixture. And then the next step that we're going to do is that we're going to mix it together. So what I've done is I've got 8 ounces of cream cheese that I've softened so it's ready to go. You never want to take it from the refrigerator right into the mixture. And the reason is if you take it from the refrigerator and you try to mix this together, it's not going to happen because it's so cold. So we're going to put it in here. It's nice and soft. We're going to add that fresh herb, the pecans, and the cheese. And as soon as we get done with our sausage, we'll mix it all in there together. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put fresh garlic in. So I've got 1 clove of garlic. We'll squish it, take that skin off. And then we're going to chop it up. You just want to make sure it's chopped really good. And then we're just going to scoop that in and put it in there. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. I like to use the Italian blend, so we'll just put about a 1/4 cup in there. And the breadcrumbs help really keep it together when you're adding in that cream cheese. And then I'm going to grab our sausage. And I fried up a pound of sausage, but like I had shared with you the recipe, we use 8 ounces, so we're just going to use half of this. You want to drain it off really good. And then pop it in there. It smells fantastic. Okay, so we got half of that in there. What really helps with that heat is I shared with you with the cream cheese being soft, so now that the meat is hot, it's going to make it really easy for me to try to mix that up, and then we can start putting it inside of the mushrooms. You just mix those ingredients.
I'm okay.
And next, coming up, we're going to stuff the mushrooms. Now we're going to stuff the mushrooms. So what I do is I use the easy button. You know those ballers that you have? I use that. You can use your fingers, you can use a teaspoon, but this way I know that I'm getting the same portion in there and it's easy for me to do. So you get that combination of the cream cheese, the rosemary and that, and then you just drop it right into the mushroom. So you just fill your mushrooms up. See, I got the same portion in all of them. That makes it nice and easy for me. And if you get a mushroom that's a little bit bigger, then just put 2 scoops in it. You want to make sure you get that. These are so good. Even before they're cooked, you can smell it. After we get them filled up, the next thing that we're going to do is I just sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top of it. And then that way, it melts over the top. Kind of secures in my mixture. So like I mentioned before, when I get all done here, I'm going to put a little bit of water in my pan so when it cooks in the oven, they won't get dried out whatsoever. And you can get this recipe on my blog. It's Cooking with Cheryl Ann, blogspot.com. Also, you can visit my Facebook. Just cannot thank Liz enough for hosting us here at Windy Point Vineyards and letting us use her kitchen and her beautiful tasting room to entertain. And there we go. The mushrooms are full. We got some Parmesan cheese. I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. Oh yeah, looking good. We're going to throw this into a 350-degree oven. We're going to cook it for 20 minutes, and then we're going to pair this one up with Barbera wine from Windy Point. Hang on. So our mushrooms have been in here for 20 minutes. Look at that. They're all hot and melted. Perfect. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take those, you see they're nice and golden brown, and we're gonna transfer them right onto our serving tray. So we're gonna put these on here. We're gonna put these Italian sausage ones in the middle, very carefully. And then those New York steak mushrooms that we made earlier, let's put some of those around the outside. These, there's nothing else to be added to them. They are ready to go. They should taste amazing. This is perfect when you're going to a friend's house and you need to take a dish, if you need to make an appetizer, if you're having people over to play cards, watch TV, a movie, anything like that. If they enjoy mushrooms, this is the thing to make. Okay, whoops, we broke one apart. So we'll do one more row. I'm going to move these out of the way. Oh, those look great. Then we're going to grab the other mushrooms out of the oven. They're ready to go. We've let these bake for 7 minutes. So now we're going to turn them over. You can see the steam coming off, so they are definitely ready. See all the juices, it's nice and juicy. So we're just going to flip these over right onto the tray. We're going to fill them, and then we're going to be ready to serve. So our mushrooms are ready. I got my Italian sausage mushrooms in the middle. I've got my New York steak mushrooms on the outside. Let's see what they think. And what better to pair it with Barbea wine. Okay, Paul and Jerry. These are my Italian sausage mushrooms.
Looks so good. How come those look different than those? I like them.
These are my Italian sausage ones. These are the New York ones that I served to you earlier. You want a New York one? Super. Okay, Paul, bite in. Let's see what you think. Good stuff? You like it? With the wine? Oh, wonderful. I think we're a hit. So the last thing we're doing tonight is we're making homemade pesto, and we're going to wrap it with bacon inside of chicken. So we're going to do the pesto. So I have my little food processor here. We're going to dump the Parmesan cheese in. We're going to put in the roasted pecans. We're going to put in 4 cloves of garlic. I'm going to add in some olive oil. You've got to have the olive oil so it'll all mix. And the last thing we're going to put in is fresh basil. So I have my basil here. We're going to pinch off the leaves. Just pinch them off. We take the stems off, so all we're putting in there is the leaves. Grab those. Oh, you can smell it when you're pinching it off. And if you don't have fresh basil, they sell it at the produce department, at any produce department. You can get a small one, or you can get a larger bag. You just take them and put it in there, and then that's the combination. So we can get as much as we can here. Pull it off. And here comes the homemade pesto. We just do it in spurts. As you can see in there, it's kind of dry, so we're going to just stop, lift off the lid. We're going to add a little bit more olive oil. Oh, there we go. Put that lid back on there. go. There it is. And we got it. We'll mix it up there together. There it is, our homemade pesto. So this is my new experiment, and I'm going to try this on everybody. And what I'm going to do is I've taken chicken breasts. We're going to cut them up into cubes. It's nice and fresh. Make it into bite-sized pieces. And then what we're going to do, move that over. So we're going to take it, we're going to slice it. We're going to put some pesto right inside of there, that fresh pesto that we just made. We're going to put that inside of the chicken. Then we're going to take some bacon, and I buy the bacon straight from the butcher here in Yakima, so it's nice and thick. And then we're going to wrap it around the chicken. Whoops, let's get a bigger piece here. We'll wrap it around. We'll toothpick it. Cut it. And then we're going to put it on the pan. And when we get done, we're going to put this in the oven. We're going to cook it for like 20 minutes. And then that pesto is going to cook right into the chicken with the bacon. So again, you have a bite-sized piece of breast meat. We're going to add in that fresh pesto. We're going to wrap it in bacon. And who doesn't like bacon? What goes good with bacon?
Everything.
More bacon. That's right. Gotta love the bacon. There we go. What doesn't go with bacon? One of my favorite B words, bacon and butter. Love the butter. So this chicken is so nice. You would think I married an Italian. I'm German, but I always gravitate to Italian foods. The pesto, and then we're going to make some homemade marinara sauce to dip this in. We're going to try a pineapple habanero sauce, and we'll see what they like. So coming up next, we're going to put this in the oven and let it start baking together.
No pun intended.
Exactly. Bacon, bacon, bacon.
God, if you're worried about her, I was worried too. She dragged me home.
So here's the chicken appetizer I've never tried before. I took chicken breast, put pesto inside, wrapped it in bacon. We baked it up. We're going to take the kale, put it around the edge for our decor. That way our presentation is amazing. And then we're just going to set those pieces of chicken right there in the middle. We've got the toothpicks so they're able to grab a hold of it. And then we've got 2 dipping sauces for them to try. We've got a marinara with basil and garlic in it, and we've got a pineapple habanero sauce. So we'll see which one they like the best. Smells good, something different, different combination. You can see the steam coming off of them. Voila, there we go. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to try the marinara.
Wow.
Is it okay?
It's amazing.
Oh. I think we have a hit.
Wow.
So you can catch this recipe on my blog, and we'll put both dipping sauces because I can hear them going, So now we have what we're going to call Cheryl Ann's chicken pesto bacon wraps.
Oh,
Cheers.
amazing.
Thank you so much for joining me on Cooking and Entertaining with Cheryl Ann here at Windy Point Vineyards. What a wonderful place to be in this gorgeous tasting room, this fantastic kitchen, and these amazing wines. We were able to sample 6 wines and pair it up with my food. So we sure appreciate Liz letting us come here and enjoy ourselves with family and friends and having such a fantastic time. For all my recipes, go to my blog at cookingwithcherylann.blogspot.com. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers.